Pioneer fans, Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey is live and on the air. We are live from the Veterans Memorial Ice Arena here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where it is your Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey team looking to take on the Mid-Michigan Alliance, the Valkyries, as they just finished a rec league game just before us, and we're hoping it looks like they turned off the scoreboard, so hopefully that doesn't mess up our scoreboard link. But that's all right. So Pioneer is coming in at 7-2-1 on the season. They have 2 wins in a row, beating Livingston United before the break for winter. That was an 8-0 game over at the Kensington Valley Ice House, and then they beat them on same team, Livingston United, on Wednesday, January 11th. This past Wednesday, that was a 7-0 game. So Pioneer opened up with the tie versus Bloomfield Birmingham, fell to University of Liggett, then had 5 wins in a row, beating Downriver, Washtenaw United, Plymouth Canton Salem, Mercy, Livonia United. Their second loss was to Skyron. That was back on December 14th. So 1 loss to Liggett, 1 loss to Skyron, 1 tie to Bloomfield Birmingham, and the rest have been all wins for Pioneer. The last game for Pioneer had a goal in the first versus Livingston United. They had 3 goals in the second and then 3 goals in the third to win it 7-0. Livingston United was 0 for 2 on the power play, serving 10 penalty minutes. Pioneer 2 for 4 on the power play, serving 4 penalty minutes. For Pioneer, it was Zoe Andrianopoulos with a goal. Evie Portingo with a goal. 2 goals for Natalie Millman, a goal for Prince, a goal for Drebeck, and a goal for Olivia Andrianopoulos. The assists were thusly 2 assists to Millman, so a 4-point game for Millman, an assist to Drebeck, an assist to Brainerd, an assist to Flynn for 7 goals and 5 assists. The 2 penalty minutes, Drebeck sat for 2 and Brainerd sat for 2. It was Grand who played between the pipes for all 45 minutes, facing 10 shots on goal and saving 10 shots on goal. On the other side, it was Clark between the pipes, facing 31 shots on goal and saving 24 of them. Taking a look at the leading offensive statistics for Pioneer, Millman has 32 points to lead all scorers for Pioneer. That on 24 goals and 8 assists. Flynn is right behind her with 15 points. That on 4 goals and 11 assists. 2 players in third place tied with 11 points. Olivia Andrianopoulos and Campbell have both 5 goals and 6 assists each. Drebeck has 10 points on 3 goals and 7 assists. And Evie Portinga has 8 points on 5 goals and 3 assists. Weiwei Portinga has played 1 game between the pipes, 53 minutes, and that was a tie she is credited for. 18 shots on goal, 15 saves, 3 goals against, with a very solid .833 save percentage. That Maddie Grand has played 9 games between the pipes, 7 wins, 2 losses, 147 shots on goal, 132 saves, 15 goals against for 1.95 goals against average, and a very solid .898 save percentage with 5 shutouts. Pioneer has outscored their opponents by 5 in the first, scoring 13 goals in the first period. Their opponents have scored 8. Pioneer's best period has been the second period so far, scoring 25 goals. Their opponents have scored 8, so that good to 17, plus 17 on the second. And then in the third, Pioneer has scored 15 goals, 2 by the opponents, so plus 13 in the third. So 53 goals for Pioneer, 18 for the opponents, so that would be plus 35 in goals versus opponents. If you chip in 54 assists, Pioneer has 107 points, 19 assists for the opponents for 36 points. Taking a look at the combined goalkeeper statistics, Pioneer has a 2.03 goals against average and a 891 save percentage. The opponents have a 4.37 goals against average and an 834 save percentage. What about our opponents across the way? The Mid-Michigan Alliance, the Valkyries, are 4-6 on the season. They opened up with a pair of losses. The first one to the TC Lady North Stars. That was a 4-2 loss, and then they got doubled up by Skyron, 10-5. They beat Plymouth Canton Salem by a score of 10-0. That over at the Dow Event Center in Saginaw. They had 2 losses in a row on December 3rd and 4th. One to Grosse Pointe North, and the other to Livonia U19. Then they had 3 wins from December 11th to December 18th. They beat Washtenaw. That was over at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. So they beat Washtenaw United 5-0, shutting them out. They beat Walled Lake over at the Lakeland Ice Arena 6-2. And then they beat Down River United by a score of 4-1 to finish off the calendar year. That over at the Dow Event Center. They lost the first 2 games of this calendar year as Sacred Heart United beat them by a score of 5-4. And then Walled Lake got a little revenge, beating them 2-1 in the last game. Taking a look at that game, nobody scored, at least according to the score sheet, no one scored in the first or second. 2 goals for Walled Lake in the third, 1 for Mid-Michigan Alliance in the third for a final score of 2-1. 0 for 5 on the power play was Walled Lake, serving 2 penalty minutes. Mid-Michigan Alliance was 0 for 1 on the power play, serving 10 penalty minutes. For Walled Lake, the goals were Wills with a goal and Dunn with a goal for 2 goals and 1 assist was to Ruhut. Penalty minutes were 2 penalty minutes served by Dunn. O'Connell played between the pipes and got the win, facing 43 shots on goal and saving 42 of them. For Mid-Michigan Alliance, it was Allen with the lone goal, no assist on that goal. It was Weird between the pipes for the Valkyries, facing 9 shots on goal and saving 7 of those. Taking a look at the top point getters offensively for the Valkyries with 16 points. Christensen has 9 goals and 7 assists. 15 points for Schlegel on 4 goals and 11 assists. As Bushowski has 11 points on 6 goals and 5 assists. Allen with 10 points on 6 goals and 4 assists. Lenahan has 9 points on 7 goals, or on 2 goals and 7 assists. And Kaiser has 7 points on 3 goals and 4 assists. That your top 5 players you want to watch out for on the Valkyries. It has been predominantly Weird playing between the pipes, 10 games between the pipes. 4 wins, 6 losses, 225 shots on goal saved, 197 of them, 28 goals against for a 3.03 goals against average and an 8.76 save percentage. Fortner has played 3 games, 35 minutes between the pipes, 2 wins, 1 loss, 16 shots on goal faced, 13 saves, 3 goals against for a 3.86 goals against average and an 8.12 save percentage. Looking at scoring per period, the Valkyries have scored 2 in the first compared to the opponents scoring 10, so that's plus 2 to the good on the first period. They're plus 7 in the second period, scoring 18 goals, and their opponents only scoring 11. In the third, the Valkyries have scored 11 goals. Their opponents have scored 10, so that's 41 goals for the Valkyries, 31 for the opponents. If you chip in 51 assists, the Valkyries have 92 points. If you throw in 31 assists for the opponents, that would be 62 points for the opponents. Combined goalkeeper statistics, Mid-Michigan has a 3.09 goals against average compared to their opponents, who have a 3.93. And Mid-Michigan's save percentage is 8.71 compared to the opponents' 8.77. Taking a look at what's up next for Pioneer. Pioneer has a little bit of time off as they have this game Saturday. Then their next game is not until January 27th. That is at Grosse Pointe South over at the East Side Foundation Hockey Arena. Then they host Northville on Saturday, December 28th here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. That closes out the calendar month. Then in February, they are at Cranbrook on February 3rd. That is a 7 p.m. game. They are here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena at Skyron, although they both call this place home. That will be a 5 p.m. game on the 8th. On the 18th, they are going to be at Walled Lake. It's a 2 p.m. game. On the 19th of February, they will be at Northville over at Eddie Egger Ice Arena. That's a 5 p.m. game. On the 24th, they will be playing Washtenaw United at Burr Park Ice Arena. That is a 5:30 p.m. game. And then they will play Skyron at Burr Park Ice Arena on the 25th of February. That is a 2:55 game as they're resurfacing the ice. Lots of folks made their way down from mid-Michigan, and we got some Pioneer fans filling in across the way. As let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with your starting lineups and your opening puck drop.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're coming to the end of the warm-up period, both teams out skating around Pioneer in their home white jerseys with the dark stripe across the middle, circles with the block A on the front, and numbers on the back in dark purple and on the sleeves, and dark helmets. Mostly, I think there's a couple white ones out there, but predominantly dark helmets for Pioneer. On the other side, it is the Valkyries, who have a lighter green jersey with the Michigan Alliance in the center on the front. With the Valkyrie picture, they have the numbers in white on the back and on the sleeves. Kind of a V dark pattern across the middle, and then the same light green socks. As we are getting ready to go, 5 minutes have counted down, and this is a double header, as it is the Pioneer women versus Mid-Michigan, and then the Pioneer men come in to the building at 7 o'clock to take on Dexter. So if you have an opportunity, come on down. We'd love to see all the Pioneer fans out here and cheering on for both the men's and women's team here at Vets Memorial Ice Arena. As they're getting all the pucks cleaned up, there's a couple scratches from Mid-Michigan. Saminski not here today, nor is Al Sheik. On the other side, at least as of yet, I do not see Millman or Grant. Looks like Webe Portinga is going to be playing between the pipes for Pioneer. It is good to see Joe Finn Streifclose on the bench. Fantastic to see her with the team, and we are getting ready to go. Lawton comes out for the Valkyries. Christensen skates out at forward for the Valkyries. Schlegel skates out to the blue line. Lebeski skates out to the blue line. Russell skates out, starting defender. Weird, starting between the pipes. Now starting lineups for Pioneer. Prince skates out to the blue line, starting for Pioneer. Flynn skates out to the blue line, starting at forward for Pioneer. Campbell starting center for Pioneer. Trappell, one of the starting blue liners for Pioneer. And Zoe Andrianopoulos, the other starting blue liner. And Wewe Portinga between the pipes for Pioneer today. As the rest of the team skates out to the blue line, and now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. And first game of a doubleheader here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena as the Pioneer women's varsity hockey team taking on the Mid-Michigan Valkyries. And then afterwards, at approximately 7 o'clock, the Pioneer men's varsity hockey team takes on Dexter. As both squads, Pioneer gathered around Coach Arend, getting last-minute instructions to our right. The Valkyries gathered around over on the left-hand side around their goal, as gathered around Weird. As we're getting ready for some fantastic early evening hockey here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. Appreciate you watching and cheering from wherever you are at. Thank you very, very much for tuning in when you can't make it live to the rink. Campbell in to take the face-off. Flynn to her right, Prince to her left. Back behind, Zoe Andrianopoulos and Trappell are the blue liners. Wewe Portinga on a knee right in front of her crease as Weirn gets her crease marked up to our left. Pioneer going from right to left here in this, the opening period. In to take the face-off is Schlegel on the other side for the Valkyries. And it's pulled back over as Globeski fires it ahead. Here comes Schlegel, who dumps it deep into the Pioneer zone, into the near corner. Chasing it, Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to tip that away. That goes right off the back of the Pioneer goal into the near corner. Prince has it there. Prince coming up the near boards, feeds it to the blue line as that was held in by Glombeski. And now popped in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Campbell trying to pull it back away. That fired in onto the near circle. Schlegel feeds it back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it is Christensen. That tipped away. Battle for it right in along the neutral zone. Now that fire back in along the end boards of the Valkyrie zone. Prince trying to fire it out in front. That went off the side of the net. Trappell trying to hold it in as that fired all the way back into the Pioneer zone, into the near corner. Olivia Andrianopoulos picks it up there, firing it down on the far boards as Flint trying to get it out of the zone. Held in at the far point. Shot there. Saved by Wewe Portinga. Still loose on the near circle as that battle in along the near board outside of the near circle. Trappell battling a pair of Valkyries, trying to get that out of the way. Prince in there as well as that's pulled down as Bashowski had it back into the near corner. Here comes Pioneer. That tip loose on the near circle. Trappell fires it that out into the neutral zone. Flint over center ice. Flint fires it all the way down into the Valkyrie zone as she goes for a line change. That puck into the near corner with it. Valkyries trying to get it out into the neutral zone. Drebeck has it at her own blue line, trying to feed it ahead. Now in along the far boards. Evie Portinga has it poked as she's right in front of the scorer's bench. That goes deep into the Valkyrie zone. Gathered up back behind. Now coming in along the near boards. Firing it ahead is Kaiser. Bringing it into the zone outside the far circle. Still working with it. Back behind the goal. Kaiser gets it on the near circle. Backhanded shot saved by Wewe Portinga. 13:05 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far between the Valkyries and Pioneer. Face-off is going to be to Wewe Portinga's left in the near face-off circle as that's LaBelle in to take the face-off for the Valkyries. On the other side is Olivia Andrianopoulos. That puck back top of the near circle as that's fired by Glombeski into the far circle. Outside the far circle, Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone. That's held in back there by Bushowski into the far corner. Stret fires, and that's saved by Wewe Portinga. 12:47 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far. Face-off is going to be in the far face-off circle. That to Portinga's right. As Campbell in to take the face-off. Schlegel on the other side for the Valkyries. And puck drops, and that's sent into the far corner. In along the end boards, Drebeck knocks it off the far boards, trying to get it over. Flynn trying to pull that away. Now that comes right back, rimmed around the boards. Prince has it outside the near circle, gets it to the near point, but Glombeski fires it right back out in front of the goal. Now outside the near circle, Prince has it underneath the near circle, trying to get it out of the zone. That went off of Campbell's skate shot. That went off of the side of the net. Good shot by Schlegel into the near corner. Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone. Prince has it outside the near circle. Now over on blue line, knocks it against the near boards and then fires it deep into the Valkyrie zone. The puck comes right back behind the goal, gathered up there by Bashowski, who sends it in along the near boards. That tip back into the neutral zone. Now Schlegel fires it into the Pioneer zone, banking it off the far boards. Drebeck chases it in along the end boards, going from the far side to the near side, back behind her goal. Prince trying to knock it off of the boards. That got trapped in a pair of skates. Christensen trying to get to it. That's sent right back out to the neutral zone. Here comes Flynn in the high slot. Flynn on the far circle. Flynn with a shot. That off the side of the net, trying to pull that away back there. The puck in along the far boards. Kaiser trying to battle with it and fire it out to the blue line. Held in by Zoe Andrianopoulos. Her shot just goes a little high into the near corner. And pulled down. Trying to fire it ahead was Russell. And puck held in right back behind the Valkyrie goal. As it's fired in along the near boards, gathering it there is Waskevich. Pioneer trying to hold it in as Olivia Andrianopoulos had it. Now that back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up. Zoe Andrianopoulos sends it in along the near boards. Evie Portinga trying to get to it. With that pulled right back behind. Fired in along the near boards by LaBelle for the Valkyries. Out into the neutral zone, in along the near boards. It's a foot race. That pulled away by Zoe Andrianopoulos as she sends it in along the end boards of her own zone, trying to get past LaBelle. The puck sent all the way back to the far point. Here comes Evie Portinga down the far boards in the neutral zone. That pulled away by LaBelle. LaBelle drifts back into her own zone as Olivia Andrianopoulos sends it in along the end boards. Gathered up there. Here comes the Valkyries down the near boards of their own zone. In there battling, is firing it ahead is Van Summeren. That puck right in front of the Pioneer bench as McKay trying to get it out of the zone. Now coming in is Michalski. Shot, and covering it up is Weiwei Portinga. 10:06 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. As Flynn, Myers, and Prince come out for the front line for Pioneer. Campbell in to take the face-off. That puck, high slot, driven into the far corner. Pulled back over by Bashowski. Sent right back behind the Pioneer goal. Here comes Campbell. Campbell has that fired ahead, tipped by Prince. Now gathered up right at center ice and fired in by Lenahan down the far boards. Bashowski trying to get to it. Past Meyer, fires it out in front. Good job to tip it away by Drabeck and drive it into the far corner, keeping it away as that comes back to the blue line. Fired right back in along the end boards outside the far circle. Flynn has it there, firing it, trying to get it out of the zone. Held in at the far point, but then tipped out as Glebeski tried to keep it in. Pioneer able to tip that out. Now fired the other direction by Lenahan. All the way back into the Pioneer zone. Drabeck rockets it down the far boards. Then sent right back in by Glebeski. Pulled back around. Now feeding it. The Valkyries have it down the far boards. Picked up there by Myers. Driven deep in along the end boards of the Pioneer zone. Drabeck has it in the far corner. Drabeck. And fired, and Weiwei Portinga knocks it right back behind the goal. 8:50 left to go here in the first. Battle for it outside the near circle in the Pioneer zone. Myers banks it off the near boards over to Drabeck. Drabeck backhands it over to Evie Portinga. And pulled in, trying to chase it around with Schlegel as that rimmed all the way around. Flynn has it outside the far circle. Flynn comes over her own blue line, fires it all the way down into the Valkyries zone. Icing waved off as that's gathered up back behind by Russell, who rims it all the way around the boards back into the neutral zone. And to the Pioneer blue line, Trappell trying to fire it the other direction. Lawton trying to get it deep into the zone. Also over there, Christensen trying to drive it deep. There's a shot from the high slot, blocked out in front by Zoe Andrianopoulos. She feeds it down the far boards, racing ahead with it. Here comes Olivia Andrianopoulos outside the far circle. Her shot knocked back behind by Weird. Outside the near circle in the Valkyrie zone, Pioneer trying to get to it. Brainerd as that tipped back into the near corner. Pulling that back is LaBelle for the Valkyrie. She sends it in along the far board. Zoe Andrianopoulos puts it on the far circle. That fired all the way down the ice. That'll be icing. So it'll head back into mid-Michigan zone as it's 7:44 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle, that to the left of Weirn. In to take the face-off, that looks like LaBelle. Olivia Andrianopoulos on the other side for Pioneer. That puck in along the end boards, gathered up there, bringing it ahead. Here comes the Valkyries as they go over. Kaiser trying to get it out of the zone in along the near boards. Gathered up by Olivia Andrianopoulos, who tries to send it over to Brainerd. And Evie Portinga trying to knock that away. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to get to it, and now we have a whistle. As that'll be an offsides call. 7:22 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off between Campbell and LaBelle in the far face-off circle outside the Pioneer zone. Stopped by Weiwei Portinga, who gets it over to Drabeck back behind her own goal. Drabeck feeds it in along the far boards. Flynn gathers it up outside the far circle, feeds it ahead. Here comes Campbell through center ice. Campbell gets into the Valkyrie zone on the near circle. Campbell trying to make her way in. Shot, and she scores! Campbell puts it up in the top left-hand corner. as Campbell makes it 1-0. Pioneer, beautifully placed shot as Weird had good positioning, but Campbell just caught the upper left-hand corner with a rising shot, and Pioneer takes the 1-0 lead at 7:04. Face-off at center ice. Schlegel in to take the face-off for the Valkyries. On the other side is Campbell, the lone goal scorer so far in the game. That fired back deep. Way Portinga stops the shot there by Van Summeren. The puck pulled out of the zone by Flynn. Flynn coming down the far boards for Pioneer. And poked away by Bushowski, who gets it right back into the neutral zone. Dre back at her own blue line. Trying to send it. That gathered in at the Valkyries' blue line. Trying to feed that ahead is Glombeski. Pulled away by Campbell. Campbell feeds it over to Drebeck. Drebeck gets back behind on the far circle. Drebeck with a rising shot. And into the near corner of the Valkyrie zone. Prince with it there. Loose on the near circle. That pulled away. Fired all the way down the ice by Schlegel. Into the near corner. That'll be icing and head back into the Valkyrie zone. 6:21 left to go here in the first. So it looks like the assist was to Drebeck, number 14, on the Campbell goal. And it's face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Weiren's right. As Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to get that pull back behind. Fired around as the Valkyries get it. And held in. Good job by McKay to hold it in. Saved by Weiren, who puts it right back in along the end boards. That rimmed all the way around the boards, trying to hold it in at the near point. McKay, that pulled back. Now racing ahead with it is Bushowski. Bushowski gets it onto the, right through the slot. Backhanded attempt, just missed the post into the near corner. And rimmed all the way around outside the far circle. Brainerd trying to get to it. That is going to be a check, a legal body check. So Pioneer will be on the penalty kill. As Brainerd goes into the box at 5:44. Pioneer will be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else that happens. Face-off is going to be to Weiwei Portinga's right in the far face-off circle. Campbell in to take the face-off. McKay out there, as well as Zoe Andrianopoulos, and I can't quite see right past as Christensen right in front of the other Pioneer player. As that's going to be Flynn into the far corner. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to lift it out. That got deflected. Top of the near circle. Here comes Flynn. Flynn fires it all the way down the ice. Able to clear it. 5:32 left to go here in the first. 1:44 left to go in the Valkyries power play. Campbell has it right at the Valkyrie blue line, trying to fire it back deep. That gathered up as the Valkyries fire it ahead. Lenahan feeds it down the far boards, is gathering up Schlegel in along the end board. Schlegel has it right back behind the Pioneer goal underneath the near circle. That pulled back away by Zoe Andrianopoulos. Zoe Andrianopoulos fires it all the way down the ice. Able to clear it as 1 minute 18 seconds left to go in the Valkyrie power play. As they set it up, Christensen feeds it into the neutral zone. Flynn trying to fire it right back into the zone. Whistle. And it's going to be offside. Face-off in the near face-off circle just outside of the Valkyrie zone. LaBelle in to take the face-off for the Valkyries. Now she'll go and have a quick chat with Kaiser to her right. Olivia Andrianopoulos on the other side for the face-off. One back over to Zoe Andrianopoulos, who fires it in. That deflected. Olivia Andrianopoulos, just tipped away by Lawton coming down the far boards. That fired right back in, deep into the Valkyrie zone. 4:40 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 1-0 on the Campbell goal. That comes all the way back. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to tip it away as Wachkevich got deep into the Pioneer zone and pulled back as Glebeski gets it back into the neutral zone. Trappell has it at her own blue line. Trappell trying to knock that away, that in along the near boards. LaBelle fires it in. Trappell trying to knock it away, that loose now. Drebeck gets it banked off the near boards and all the way back. As 22 seconds left to go in the Pioneer penalty kill. as it's deep in the Valkyries' end. Now in along the near boards. That slips back into the Pioneer zone. Drebeck has it. Outside the near circle of her own zone. Spinning, trying to avoid pressure as Kaiser back there, trying to knock it away underneath the near circle all the way back to the far point where Glombeski sends it back deep, right back behind Weiwei Portinga. Drebeck rims it around the boards. Now Olivia Andrianopoulos clears it all the way down. Pioneer back to full strength, so that will be icing and head back into the Pioneer zone. 3:36 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Pioneer with the lead over the Valkyries. Both teams would love to get the next goal, and Valkyries would love to get it even. Pioneer would like to try and extend that lead and not give the Valkyries any kind of hope. Face off in the far face-off circle. That to Weiwei Portinga's right. As Schlegel in to take the face off for the Valkyries back to the far point. Pioneer trying to tip that out. Flynn just couldn't get it past. Good by Buszalski into the near point. Now in along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer. Brainerd over own blue line. Brainerd coming down the far boards. Brainerd gains the zone. Top of the far circle. Brainerd now has that tipped away, banked right back out into the neutral zone by Buszalski. Back into the Pioneer end. Campbell takes it right back behind her own goal. In along the near boards, held in at the near point. That shot saved by Weiwei Portinga as that was Russell from the near point. That puck outside the near circle, picked up by Brainerd. Brainerd loses an edge, trying to get it out of the zone. And trying to hold it in there was Russell. Pioneer gets it back into the neutral zone. Spinning the other direction is Schlegel as that puck right at center ice. Now trying to bring it in was Anderson. Knocked away in along the far boards. Flynn trying to get to it, but it goes into the penalty box. And we'll have a, we will redrop the puck in the neutral zone. 2:39 left to go here in the first. As the official has to get in there and search as that puck tried to get itself deep in the penalty box. Face-off in the far face-off circle just outside of the Valkyries zone as that's Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off versus LaBelle. Back to center ice as McKay has it there. McKay trying to feed it ahead, then slips into the Valkyrie zone. Pulling it in along the far boards. Pioneer, Prince trying to get it right at center ice. Now McKay down the near boards trying to get it past Lenahan. That puck right back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up to avoid a delayed offside. Zoe Andrianopoulos at her own blue line banks it off the scorer's bench. Over on the far side, that right back into the neutral zone. Now skies up, bouncing puck into the Valkyrie zone. Pioneer racing in, and fired ahead by Lenahan. Held in by Zoe Andrianopoulos. Pioneer retouches to avoid a delayed offsides. Lenahan coming down the near boards of her own zone. Lenahan gets it all the way through the neutral zone. That'll end up being a shot on goal, so no icing. Weiwei Portinga covers it up as racing down LaBelle looking for a rebound, and Weiwei Portinga just takes the discretion being the better part of valor and freezes the puck. 1 minute, 46 seconds left to go here in the first. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Weiwei Portinga's left. Buszalski in to take the face-off versus Olivia Andrianopoulos. That puck brought ahead right to the blue line, but held in by Glombeski. Now right at the far point, Valkyries with a shot that goes into the near corner. Racing over to get it is Kaiser. And centering attempt. Oh, that tipped away. Weiwei Portinga with the save. And they score. As Weiwei Portinga had stopped it, I'm not sure she noticed, and coming in, poking it in, I believe that was Kaiser. We shall see as they announce the goal. It is all knotted up at one apiece at 1:27 left to go in the first. So Valkyrie score, make it even. Campbell in to take the face-off versus Buszalski. That comes in along the far boards, trying to fire it the other direction is Lenahan. Here comes Campbell, tipped away on the near circle. Now trying to bat it the other direction is Kaiser. Flynn has it at the far point, bringing it in. Now here comes Campbell, trying to fire it deep. That got caught off of a pair of skates. Now swept back out into the neutral zone, and Pioneer has to touch up. Here comes Drebeck into the zone in the high slot, and pulled back away by Kaiser, sending it in along the near boards, and there's a minute left to go here in the first. All knotted up at one apiece, tipped away by Myers, now brought back behind her own goal by Drabeck, coming in along the far boards. Drabeck feeds it to Flynn, that tipped away, held in at the far point by Lenahan, and still trying to poke it out. Lenahan really holding it in, doing a good job at that far point as Drabeck lost her stick. Now that finally poked out all the way back out to center ice. 31 seconds left to go. Here in the first, 1-1 is the score. As that fired ahead by Lenahan all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Racing to get it, Bushowski. To fire it in front. That pulled away. Here comes Drabeck over on blue line. Drabeck racing ahead as that puck loose, gathered up by Brainerd. Brainerd gains the zone, fires that, just goes wide to the near side. 7 seconds left to go. Valkyries trying to get one more chance to fire it ahead. 3 seconds left to go. Racing in, shot and a save by Weiwei Portinga as Schlegel had a good shot right at the end of the period. Weiwei Portinga able to save it, and it is 1-1 at the end of one, as it was a Pioneer goal starting off things at 7:04, as that was Piper Campbell from Drabeck. Pioneer then took a body check penalty that at 5:44 as Brainerd had to sit for two. Then it was a goal by Kaiser that at 1:27, and we're all knotted up. Both squads talking and getting instructions, as we'll have a short intermission here between the first and second period. And we may well have resurfacing between the second and third. Shots on goal, 4 shots on goal for Pioneer, 12 by Mid-Michigan, as they've kept Weiwei Portinga busy. Let's play a quick, let's play push on really quickly, and we'll come back with your second period action. One to one at the end of one here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena between the Mid-Michigan Alliance Valkyries and your Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey team. And this is first of 2 games we'll have in a row from Veterans Memorial Ice Arena, so you still got time. Come on out. A number of great Pioneer fans across the way. Mid-Michigan Alliance brought some folks down from the Saginaw area, and they have a good crowd over there, but we'd love to see even more. Pioneer men are playing at 7 o'clock, so if you come now, you can catch a little bit of doubleheader action and cheer on both Pioneer teams. So thank you for watching wherever you are at and cheering for either of these teams. We appreciate your support of these amazing athletes. Pioneer going from left to right here in the second period as Campbell comes back to talk to Trappell. In to take the face off, Campbell, and on the other side is Bushowski. Flynn to Campbell's right, Prince to Campbell's left. As Washkevich to the left of Bushowski. Over to the right is Schlegel. That puck right at the blue line. Zoe Andrianopoulos feeds ahead to Flynn. Flynn trying to get it. That knocked away. Flynn has it outside the near circle, trying to drive it deep. Flynn trying to pull it underneath is battling Lenahan in along the end boards. Tip back. Lenahan trying to poke that away. Flynn still battling. Campbell in there as well. Now that pulled the other direction. Here comes Lenahan back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. Feeds all the way back to the far point. Held in by Trappell. Shot and a save by Weirn. Now that pulled back away in along the far boards. Pioneer trying to fire it back deep. Campbell chasing it as a collision. And pulled right back to Trappell. Now slips into neutral zone. Washkevich coming the other direction. Flint knocks that away. Here comes Campbell. That poked away. Coming the other direction is Lobeski. Top of the near circle. Shot. Weiwei Portinga with the save. Puck loose. Campbell puts it into the near corner outside the near circle. Flynn trying to get to it. Center attempt. Top of the far circle. Glombeski fires it. That went off a Trappell's skate. There's a shot and a score. As top of the far circle firing it in was number 88, Bushowski. for the Valkyries is they'll take the 2-1 lead at 13:49, as that was a rising shot. They just managed to get over Weiwei Portinga's right shoulder. Drebeck comes over, gives her a little fist bump. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off. Pioneer down by a goal. Schlegel on the other side. That puck comes all the way back into the Pioneer zone. That will be icing and head back into the Valkyries' end. 2-1. Valkyries with the lead at 13:43. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. That to Weirn's right. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off versus Schlegel. As they drop the puck, Schlegel trying to send it top of the far circle as Brainerd gets it into the slot. Now that pulled the other direction. Here comes Buchalski into the zone, top of the near circle. Buchalski coming in, backhanded shot, saved by Weiwei Portinga. That fired high slot. Now Schlegel with the shot, loose, and not able to put it in was Christensen, as the puck wouldn't settle down, had an open bit of the net on the near side, and that puck just skittered all the way back. Picking it up, back in along the end boards is Buchalski, back behind her own goal, firing it in along the far boards. Gathered up by Schlegel, back into the neutral zone as Evie Portinga trying to knock it the other direction. The puck in along the near boards, backhanded into the Pioneer zone. Drebeck feeds it in along the far boards where Atzman gets it back into the neutral zone. Brainerd brings it ahead into the Valkyries' end, but they chip it right back in along the near boards of the neutral zone. LaBelle brings it ahead, stopping, waiting for her team to get switched. Now gathers into the zone as delayed penalty coming up. It looks like right at the near point, and Pioneer touches it. And tripping the call to Pioneer. So Pioneer will be shorthanded again. As looks like Brainerd, number 17, going into the box for Pioneer. So Pioneer will be on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes. They're down by a goal, 2-1 to the Valkyries, the Mid-Michigan Alliance. Face off to Weiwei Portinga's right. Campbell in to take the face off. On the other side is Schlegel. That puck loose on the near circle. Campbell banks it off the near boards, gets it into the neutral zone. As Blombeski fires it back over to Lenahan. Lenahan trying to fire it down. Now that brought in. Drop pass. That shot. Weiwei Portinga knocks it back, as that was a shot from the top of the near circle by Lenahan. The puck outside the near circle. Schlegel sends it right back behind Weiwei Portinga into the far corner. Trying to rim it around was Lawton. Outside the near circle where Schlegel has it. Sends it right back in along the end boards. As Lawton ricochets it off the near boards. That gathered up. Here comes Campbell. Piper Campbell fires it all the way down. Chasing it back. Pioneer able to clear it. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. In the Pioneer penalty kill is Flynn right at the Valkyries blue line. Sends that back deep again. Racing over Lenahan. Pulls it up the far boards. Lenahan feeds it all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. McKay trying to knock it away, but that's sent deep into the Pioneer zone. 11:30 left to go here in the second. The puck banked off the near boards, held in at the near point by Glombeski with a shot that just goes wide. As McKay trying to get it, Weiwei Portinga saves it. As a little pushing and shoving after the whistle. 46 seconds left to go here in the Pioneer penalty kill. Face-off in the far face-off circle as Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to get it. That held in right in front and saved by Weiwei Portinga. Face-off again in the far face-off circle. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off. LaBelle on the other side. Puck drops loose. LaBelle trying to get to it, moving it over. That tipped it along the end boards into the far corner. Drebeck rims it all the way around the boards. Outside the near circle, Buchalski with it. Now that lifted, trying to get it on the zone. Bushelsky not able to hold it in. That puck again at the near point. Bushelsky really make it difficult for Pioneer to exit the zone. They finally get it out of the zone. 14 seconds left to go in the Pioneer penalty kill whistle, and that looks like it's going to be icing and head back the other direction. 10:48 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Valkyries with the lead over your Pioneer women's varsity hockey team. Face off in the near face-off circle. That is going to be to the left of Weirn. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off. Again on the other side is LaBelle. That puck loose, now gathered up. Bringing ahead as Glembeski gets it all the way back to the Pioneer blue line as Drabeck trying to feed it ahead to Olivia Andrianopoulos. That deflects. Now bringing it in is Kaiser. Kaiser feeds it deep into the Pioneer zone. Rimmed around by Drabeck, back to the near point, held in there by LaBelle. Now Prince chasing it. That goes into the near corner as Christensen feeds it all the way across the ice. Now Brainerd fires it all the way down. That is going to be icing and head back into the Pioneer end. 10-12 left to go. Here in the second, 2-1. As it is the Valkyries in the lead over your Pioneer women's varsity hockey team. Face off to the left of Weiwei Portinga. Campbell in to take the face off. Schlegel on the other side. As puck drops, that puck comes right back behind Weiwei Portinga, fed around the boards. Outside the near circle, Flynn gets it ahead. Here comes Campbell racing ahead with it on the near circle. Campbell cuts into the slot, shot. Oh, blocker save as that's right on top of the net. As good shot by Campbell and deflection off of the blocker by Weirn. Good save by Weirn, and that popped right on top of the net. You don't see that often. That's got to be awful for a goaltender if they don't see it there. Just wondering where the heck that puck went. Campbell taking the face off and along the near boards as Evie Portinga trying to tip that away back to the high slot. Zoe Andrianopoulos with a shot, deflects just to the near side. Evie Portinga trying to fire it out in front. And gathered, kept in by Zoe Andrianopoulos. Now that rocketed all the way back, and that will be icing and head back into the Valkyries' end. 9:36 left to go here in the second. Of course, high school hockey, you can still change on an icing, not so in college or pro. 9:36 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Valkyries with the lead over Pioneer. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face off. On the other side is LaBelle. That puck loose on the far circle, trying to drive it into the far corner as Glembeski trying to get it out of the zone. That lifted all the way to center ice. Drabeck has it there. Drabeck makes her way, gains the zone. Drabeck top of the near circle. Shot goes wide to the near side. Into the near corner. That grabbed and coming ahead, Glembeski gets it all the way down the ice as that skitters and spins, and that will be icing and head back into the Valkyrie end. 9:14 left to go here in the second. Valkyries up by a goal, 2-1. Face-off is going to be to the right of Weirn. Again, Olivia Andrianopoulos versus Schlegel in that far face-off circle in the Valkyrie zone. Some of the Pioneer men's hockey team already in the house watching the action, cheering the women's team on. That puck outside the near circle. Lawton has it. Gets it out of the zone. That it's center ice. Olivia Andrianopoulos gets it right back to the blue line. Coming up ahead. Schlegel gets it into the Pioneer zone. Schlegel outside the far circle. Shot that got deflected out in front. Now sticked away by Drabeck. Outside the far circle. Drabeck trying to fire it ahead as that will be an illegal body check. Drabeck goes down hard, but she pops up. She's okay. Schlegel goes into the box for an illegal body check at 8:46. And Pioneer will have their first power play. Face-off will come into the Valkyrie zone. 8:46 left to go. Valkyries up 2-1. Face-off is to Weirn's right in the far face-off circle. Campbell in to take the face-off. Bashowski on the other side. That puck, top of the far circle. As Evie Portingo shot, and Campbell with a blast just on the far side of the crease. Good save by Weirn. Loose again, just to the near side of the goal, now into the near corner. Trying to feed it around his Lenahan as that comes all the way back to the far point and fired. Cleared all the way down the ice. 8:30 left to go as in the second, Pioneer rims it around to Flynn outside the near circle. Flynn trying to exit the zone. As Campbell sends it back, now Trappell has it in along the end boards of her own zone. Whistle. As, looks like there's an issue with the clock. As looks like the power play, the penalty kill didn't get on there properly as it was all at triple zeros. I think they got it up at 1 now. So the officials talk things over, trying to get it figured out. Want to make sure that no one has to stay in the box longer than their allotted time. As Bashowski comes over and having a chat with Schlegel in the penalty box and talking to the official. As they have 1:50 up on the clock. Still working on it. Pioneer gathered in the slot, talking things over. Now they got it set to 1:30 seconds. As those scoreboards are not easy to run sometimes. It's all volunteers. We appreciate we can't have the games we want without all the wonderful parent volunteers who operate the clock and help out in the penalty boxes and all sorts of stuff like that. They got it up right, 1:30 left to go here in the Pioneer power play. Face-off back in the Pioneer zone. 8:31 left to go here in the second. 2-1, Valkyries with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off. As in to take the face-off, Campbell versus Bashowski. Puck right back behind Weiwei Portinga. Grabbed there. Brought ahead as Trappell has it underneath the far circle. Trappell bringing it ahead, feeds it over to Campbell. Campbell coming down the far boards over center ice. Campbell knocks it off the far boards and tipped away as Evie Portinga trying to drive it deep. That lifted back as Zoe Andrianopoulos chases it back into her own zone. Pressure coming from Kaiser as Zoe Andrianopoulos feeds it down the near boards and gathered up by Campbell at her own blue line. Campbell coming down the far side, trying to avoid pressure by Bushelski. Campbell spins with it, top of the far circle, and knocked away by Kaiser. That shot by Pioneer deflects right back behind Weirn. And that sent all the way around outside the far circle. Pioneer on a line change, able to keep it into the Valkyrie zone during the line change. Now it's chipped out into the neutral zone as 38 seconds left to go. Here in this, the Pioneer power play, 7:33 left to go here in the first. Held in and fired back deep by Glombeski. Picked up in the near corner, bringing it ahead. Here comes Pioneer as Olivia Andrianopoulos feeds it to Drebeck coming down the far boards. Drebeck gains the zone. Drebeck has that poked away right at the blue line. Now racing with numbers 2-on-1 as there's a shot saved by Weiwei Portinga as Bashowski had it top of the far circle shot. Weiwei Portinga with the save that went up into the netting. 9 seconds left to go on the Pioneer power play. 7:10 left to go here in the second. Face off in the far face off circle, that to Weiwei Portinga's left. Olivia Andrianopoulos in there versus LaBelle. That puck sent in along the far boards. Pioneer Prince feeds it down the far boards. As that'll slip past and icing. That'll head back into the Pioneer zone. As back to full strength are the Valkyries. Face-off will be to Portinga's left in the far face-off circle. Olivia Andrianopoulos in there to take the face-off versus Schlegel. 7:01 left to go. That puck in the slot, driven wide into the far corner. McKay with it there. McKay swings it. Now Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to get it back to McKay, loose underneath the far circle. Pulled back by Olivia Andrianopoulos and along the near boards as she feeds it ahead. That into the neutral zone, gathered up there, moved over by Russell in along the near boards, and trying to fire it, Glembeski. Battle for it right at the blue line, trying to pull that in is Christensen. Whistle, and it got battle for right in front of the Valkyrie zone, and Olivia Andrianopoulos ended up down on the ice. She pops up, gets her glove back. It's going to be a face-off in the near face-off circle. Right in front of us, just outside of the Pioneer zone. Pioneer gets a quick line change. Campbell in to take the face-off. Schlegel on the other side. That comes back into the Valkyrie zone. Fed in along the far boards by Russell. Now sent through center ice. Racing ahead. Christensen gains the zone outside the near circle. Christensen tries to feed it. That goes just wide to the near side. As McKay trying to pull it into the far corner. Schlegel battling there. Rimmed into the near corner. Racing over. Campbell trying to get to it. Here's Flynn. Gets it over to Campbell. Now pulled away. Fed right in front and covered up by Weiwei Portinga. As Lawton was right on the edge of the crease looking to poke that in. Weiwei Portinga not allowing any rebound. 6:02 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Valkyries with the lead over Pioneer. Face off in the near face off circle. That is to the right of Weiwei Portinga. LaBelle in to take the face off versus Campbell. That comes through the slot. Now trying to pull it into the far corner. Add off the side of the net. Bringing it ahead. Myers puts it into the far corner. Here comes Campbell. Campbell feeding it ahead to Evie Portinga. And loose right at the Pioneer blue line. Campbell gathers it up there over center ice. Campbell has that tipped away. Now Stret sends it in along the far boards. And it's sent into the Valkyrie zone and then all the way down into the Pioneer end. 5:30 left to go here in the second. Valkyries up 2-1. Pioneers sending it. Zoe Andrianopoulos moves it in along the near boards as here comes Campbell. Campbell makes a move over to, and that will be offsides as Campbell held up to avoid a stick. And Pioneer just went offsides. Face off in the near face off circle with 5:17 left to go here in the second. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face off. Now Brainerd comes in to take the face off. Schlegel on the other side. As that puck drops, swept ahead. Myers trying to feed it ahead to Prince. And moving it over, Olivia Andrianopoulos has it outside the far circle. She loses an edge and goes into the far corner. Schlegel trying to grab that, but a whistle tripping the call. Pioneer goes back on the power play at 5:05 left to go here in the second. Drebeck and Chappelle come in to patrol the blue line for Pioneer. Brainerd in to take the face-off. Olivia Andrianopoulos to the right. That's Prince to the left, I believe. Schlegel to take the face-off for the Valkyries on the other side. That puck brought back in along the end boards. Right back behind Weir, now outside the far circle. Lifted back to the far point, held in by Trappell. Trappell fires it. That went off of Bushelsky's leg into the far corner. And whipped back into the neutral zone. Drebeck with it at center ice. Banks it off the near boards. Prince comes in, gains the zone. Prince trying to feed it into the near corner as Bushelsky feeds it right back into the neutral zone. Drebeck has it at center ice. Drebeck moves it over to Trappell, coming down the far boards. And ahead, here comes Prince into the zone. Prince feeding it into the slot. Pulled away by Schlegel, back behind the Pioneer goal. And rimmed around. Trappell trying to fire it back deep. Gathered up by Lenahan, who feeds it all the way down the ice. 1 minute, 11 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Drebeck chases it back behind her own goal as the Valkyries get a line change. Drebeck coming down the far boards, feeds it ahead. And tipped by Drebeck, held in, now coming over with it. LaBelle shot. Weiwei Portinga with the save. Trappell goes back behind her own goal, sending it down the far boards. Brainerd has it at the far point of her own zone. Now through the neutral zone. Brainerd trying to fire it back deep. That pulled down by Schlegel as she has it in the near corner of her own zone. 38 seconds left to go. Schlegel coming down the far boards. Puck wouldn't settle down. Held in by Olivia Andrianopoulos over to Prince. And tipped right back into the neutral zone where Drabeck has it at center ice. Feeds it over to Trappell down the far boards. Trappell, that deflected back, gathering it up. Fired over and along the near boards by the Valkyries. Lenahan fires it all the way down the ice. 16 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 3:17 left to go here in the second. Pioneer ricochets it off the far boards. Here comes Evie Portinga. She knocks it off the far boards ahead to Campbell. Campbell gains the zone outside the far circle. She's poked off of the puck, but trying to get it back. Campbell feeds it over to Drabeck in the high slot. Drabeck with a rising shot. That goes off of the glass back behind the puck and along the end boards. Now, Valkyries back to full strength. That fired all the way down the ice. That should be icing, or not apparently, as that pulls into the far corner. Drabeck has it back behind her own goal. Drabeck coming over, feeding it down the far boards, trying to poke that away as that's pulled in deep by Bushelski. Now tipped away by Evie Portinga, right in front of the penalty box. Gathered up by Drabeck. Drabeck right at center ice. That is going to be a whistle. Pioneer will go right back on the power play, as I believe that's going to be a tripping call. As Drabeck went down at center ice. Looks like a holding call at 2:27. So Pioneer on the power play, trying to get even, as it was Pioneer scored first. Campbell with the goal, then the Valkyries came back and tied it. Then early in the second, they took the 2-1 lead, and that's where we stand now as Brainerd sends it in along the end boards. Bushelski feeds it in along the far boards, and that cleared all the way down the ice. Zoe Andrianopoulos gathers it in the near corner, sending down the near board. Zoe Andrianopoulos comes over her own blue line through center ice. Zoe Andrianopoulos gains the zone. Outside the far circle, Zoe Andrianopoulos coming in, back behind the Valkyrie goal, is trying to chip it away as LaBelle, and puck into the near corner. Zoe Andrianopoulos still battling there, as her and LaBelle in there now trying to pull it away. Olivia Andrianopoulos, there's a shot by Brainerd, all the way back to the far point where McKay holds it in. McKay comes top of the far circle. That shot saved by Weirn. Now Prince trying to fire it. That went off the side of the net. As chasing, trying to hold it in was McKay. Here comes Olivia Andrianopoulos through the slot. Shot, and she scores! Oh, right off the glove is Weird. Tried to grab it, and it just popped away. She had good position, got her hand, and it just knuckleballed past her. And Pioneer ties it up. Power play goal for Pioneer, and it's now 2-2. Face off at center ice with 1 minute 30 seconds left to go. Obviously Valkyrie's back to full strength after the Pioneer goal. Campbell moves it back to Drabeck coming down the far boards. Drabeck goes down, loses an edge. That picked up coming the other way is Schlegel. Schlegel right at the Pioneer blue line. As that's sent back right in front of the scorer's bench. Here comes Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga feeds it into the near corner. Flynn races over to get it. Flynn trying to center it. That knocked back away. I believe that was Lawton with it. Now chasing it over. Hatzman trying to knock it away from Schlegel. Now Drabeck feeds it right back into the neutral zone. Evie Portinga right in front of the penalty boxes in along the far boards. Campbell has it and gains the zone. Campbell outside the far circle. Schlegel feeds it right back into the neutral zone as there was a collision outside the far circle and a whistle as Schlegel went down. I believe that's going to be another illegal body check as Campbell will go into the box. With 46.7 seconds left to go. Knotted up at 2 apiece. Pioneer on the penalty kill as the Valkyries will have the extra attacker for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else happening. Face-off is going to be to Weiwei Portinga's right. In the near face-off circle, as it looks like it's going to be Bushelski. Nope, it's going to be LaBelle in to take the face-off. Olivia Andrianopoulos on the other side. That puck right back behind Weiwei Portinga. McKay into the far corner, trying to pull that away from Buchelski. Puck lifted back now. Drebeck feeds it. That hops over a stick all the way back into the neutral zone. Resetting things. Lenahan feeds it in along the near boards. Now Glumbeski gets it into the Pioneer zone. That shot saved by Weiwei Portinga. Backhanded shot by Buchelski. And loose. Another save. Here comes Pioneer. As racing ahead with it is Drebeck, tipped away. Good poke check by Glumbeski, who banks it off the near boards and sends it back deep. 9 seconds left to go. Pioneer trying to get out of this period without surrendering a power play goal. 4 seconds left to go. The puck back behind. McKay has it into the far corner. That will do it, as the remainder of the power play, 1 minute 14 seconds, will carry forward into the third. As we'll have an ice resurfacing here. 2-2 is our score. So McKay, number 34 on the Adrianopolis goal for Pioneer. So 44 from 34. Taking a look, shots on goal. Pioneer has a total of 9, 5 shots in the second period, 12 shots in the second period for the Valkyries for a total of 24. In the second, started off by a goal by Mid-Michigan, as that was Buchelski scoring with the assist to Schlegel as well as Glumbeski. Then it was a Pioneer penalty for tripping to Brainerd at 12:38. Then at 8:46, it was a penalty to the Valkyries, a legal body check to Schlegel. There's been a couple of those throughout the game. Then at 5:05, Valkyries able to kill off that penalty. At 5:05, it was a tripping call to Glumbeski, put Pioneer on the power play. At 2:27, another penalty to Mid-Michigan. That was a holding call to Lenahan, and that led to a power play goal at 1 minute 30 seconds left to go, as Pioneers scored, as it was Olivia Andrianopoulos from McKay. There was an illegal body check to Piper Campbell with 46 seconds left to go, and that's where we're at. 2-2 with the Valkyries with the power play when they return to action in the third. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA. Then we will be back with your intermission scoreboard report as you're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. And come on down, catch the third period here of the women's game, and the men's game right afterwards is Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey will take on Dexter right around 7 o'clock or so.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
at the second intermission, where it is 2-2 here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. Taking a look at your intermission scoreboard report. Going back to Wednesday, it was Cranbrook beating Northville over at Eddie Egger Ice Arena 6-5. We know about Pioneer beating Livingston United. It was Skyron shutting out Washtenaw United by a score of 8-0. Bloomfield Birmingham beat Grosse Pointe North by a score of 5-4, and Livonia United with a 4-goal win over Downriver 9-5. On the 12th, no score reported between Regina and Lutheran, between Mercy and Regina Lutheran North. It was Downriver beating Troy United by a score of 7-1, and Grosse Pointe South beat the U16 Metro Jets by a score of 5-3. On the 13th, it was Sacred Heart with a 6-goal win over Troy United, 8-2. No score reported again between Mercy and Cranbrook. And today on the 14th, we have this game here between Mid-Michigan and Pioneer. Elsewhere at 7 o'clock, it's Troy United at Sacred Heart. And that's all the scoreboard action for today. Of course, we have the Pioneer men's team taking on Dexter right after this game right here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. So hopefully a few of these folks who came to cheer on the women's team will cheer on the men's team. And if any of the men's fans come over and get here for the third period and cheer on both squads, love to see all the fantastic Pioneer fans out there supporting both of these excellent teams. A number of folks coming down from mid-Michigan as well. Not a short drive for them, but they have, maybe 30, 40 folks over there. As 15 minutes up on the clock, they're doing one last pass with the Zamboni. Pioneer all set to hop on the ice as they're set on their bench to the right. And taking a look, mid-Michigan not out of their locker room yet, but they will be shortly. Already seen some Dexter players and some Pioneer players for the men's squads wandering around the building. Now, 2 goals scored in the first, one by both teams. 2 scored in the second, one by both teams. Pioneer had the first goal in the first. Mid-Michigan had the first goal in the second. Both teams would love to break this tie early on and try and get momentum going their way here in the third. As the Nets back on their moorings, officials out. Getting ready to go as here comes the Valkyries out of their locker room. And we are about to get ready to go here for the all-important third period. As the Pioneer team singing along to Sweet Caroline as they hit the ice, and now the Valkyries hit the ice to our left. Pioneer going from right to left here into this, the third period. All knotted up into a piece. Way Portinga gets her crease just the way she likes it to the right. This Pioneer stretching out. As we will get back going shortly as the officials head to center ice. Down to our left, Weir getting her crease marked up just the way she likes it. Pioneer starters head out onto the ice. Campbell into the box. Pioneer is on the penalty kill for 1 minute 14 seconds to start off the third. Olivia Andrianopoulos and Flynn on the front line. Zoe Andrianopoulos and Trappell patrolling the blue line. Christensen heads out as well as Schlegel. Michalski. Lombeski as well as over there Lenahan for the Valkyries. That pulled over Lenahan, has it along the far boards. That's sent ahead. Christensen has it top of the far circle. That pulled back. Here comes Flynn trying to get out of the zone. Olivia Andrianopoulos. It's right at center ice. That poked away. Got caught in a pair of skates. And Christensen has it on the far circle. Coming in, Christensen. As that good job by Trappell to poke that away as it slips past back into the neutral zone. Globeski trying to fire it back. Delayed offsides. Pioneer feeds it into the neutral zone. Gathered up by Bichelski, who feeds it down the far boards into the Pioneer zone. Flynn trying to knock that away. Lifted right back into the neutral zone as that'll saucer back into the Valkyries' end. 26 seconds left to go here in the Valkyrie power play as the puck right at center pulled in as here comes Bichelski over onto the far circle. Shot, save, and then putting it in. As I believe that was Schlegel with a shot from the far circle, and number 88, Bichelski, put it in as it was a good save by Weiwei Portinga, but popped off to the left. And Bichelski able to fire that rebound in, and the Valkyries take the 3-2 lead with 13:59 left to go here in the third. Bichelski in to take the faceoff versus Campbell at center ice. Pioneer down by a goal as Drebeck gets it over to Campbell. Campbell in the slot, moves it over to Prince. Puck loose on the near circle. Now in along the end board. Deflected off of the near board. Trying to feed it ahead is Bichelski. Drebeck trying to hold it in. That slips all the way back as Atzman puts it down the far boards. Brainerd trying to shoot it into the Valkyrie end. That right at the Valkyrie blue line in along the far boards. Pulled back over. Now fed ahead by Washkevich. As that comes in, shot, and that just off the side of the net. All the way back to the far point, holding that in there is Russell, who sends it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Atzman trying to chase it, that outside the near circle, centering attempt. Excellent job to knock it away by Drebeck, and a save by Weiwei Portinga. As Bichelski able to poke that away and get a shot off, Weiwei Portinga able to save it. As Globeski on the assist as well as Schlegel, the goal scored by Bichelski. Face-off in the near face-off circle, that pull back and along the far circle, back top of the far circle, shot save as Lawton got it, top of the far circle. Here comes Pioneer the other direction as Drebeck brings it into the zone. Drebeck on the far circle, Drebeck coming in, Drebeck with a shot. As that back behind the Valkyrie goal into the near corner. Schlegel with it there. And a poke it away. Atzman trying to hold it in at the near point. That slips back and along the near boards now into the Pioneer zone. Drebeck has it. Top of the near circle of her own zone. Drebeck firing it ahead. That loose at center ice. As bringing it in is Flynn. That poke checked away. Loose top of the near circle. That is going to be a whistle at 12:26. Pioneer goes on the power play as Christensen goes into the box. See if we can catch the call. As roughing the call to Christensen. Face-off in the near face-off circle in the Valkyrie zone. Pioneer down by one. They have the extra attacker on the power play. Campbell in to take the face-off. On the other side is LaBelle. That puck back to the near point. Zoe Andrianopoulos sending it into the near corner. Prince had it. Now Zoe Andrianopoulos able to save that from leaving the zone. Her shot from the high slot whistle. As it was a save by Weirn. And they whistled it dead. Sure if the net came off of its moorings. 1:49 left to go in the Pioneer power play. And drop back, high slot over to Zoe Andrianopoulos. Zoe Andrianopoulos with a shot that just goes wide. Campbell trying to pull that backhanded ahead by Bichelski. Pioneer able to hold it in, the puck into the near corner. Bringing it back. And Zoe Adrianopoulos trying to keep it in. That slips all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Brainerd has it in along the far boards. Brainerd trying to avoid pressure by Kaiser. That puck brought ahead. Here comes Campbell, gains the zone. Campbell, top of the near circle with the shot. That got deflected out in front by Lenahan. And along the near boards. That swept all the way back. Gathering it up, McKay over to Drebeck. Drebeck feeds it down the far boards, coming in Olivia Andrianopoulos. Olivia Andrianopoulos outside the far circle. Now shot by Brainerd, comes outside the near circle and fired into the neutral zone by the Valkyries. All the way back deep. 53 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play as McKay trying to get it in along the end boards. Here comes Drebeck down the far boards of her own zone. And poked ahead. Schlegel trying to make it difficult. Here comes Brainerd. Brainerd gains the zone outside the far circle. And fired loose to the far point. Now shot by Drebeck goes wide to the near side. Into the near corner. Flynn has it outside the near circle. And pulling it around. Brainerd goes back behind the goal from the near side to the far side. Drifts onto the far circle. Brainerd shot. It goes off the side of the net. Battle for it. Pulling it back underneath, back behind Bushelski. Coming down the near boards, lifts it all the way down the ice. 8 seconds left to go. Here in the third, in the power play for Pioneer in the third, 10:27 left to go in the third. Pioneer down by a goal as Trappell fires it ahead. Olivia Andrianopoulos right at the near point of her own zone. And fired right back behind Weiwei Portinga into the far corner. Trying to pull it ahead, battle there. As Olivia Andrianopoulos sweeps it back behind her own goal, now coming on the near circle. Olivia Andrianopoulos feeds it into the neutral zone. Here comes Flint. Flint over center ice. Flint gains the zone. Flint outside the near circle as Bushelski trying to knock that away. Flint has it. Whistle. Hand pass, the call. So that's going to come out of the Valkyrie zone. 9:53 left to go here in the third. Pioneer down by a goal, 3-2 to the Mid-Michigan Alliance. So face-off in the near face-off circle outside of the Valkyrie zone. As LaBelle taking the face-off versus Campbell. That puck pulled away. Coming the other direction is Lawton. Lawton feeds it into the Pioneer zone, but Zoe Andrianopoulos gets it to Campbell coming the other direction. Campbell over center ice, gains the zone, top of the far circle. Campbell has that poked away, but Evie Portinga trying to fire it deep. Now that pulled the other direction by Buchelski. All the way back into the far corner. Buchelski trying to feed it that outside the near circle. Prince trying to knock it away into the near corner. Prince traces it. Prince as that poked away. Here comes Zoe Andrianopoulos. Down the far boards, banks it off the far boards ahead to Evie Portinga, knocked the other way. Here comes Zoe Andrianopoulos, gets it into the Valkyrie zone. Loose, top of the near circle, fired the other direction by Christensen. All the way back, that will be icing. That'll head back into the Valkyrie's end. 9:02 left to go here in the third. 3-2, Valkyries with the lead over Pioneer. As Dexter counting out calisthenics across the way in the far corner, getting warmed up for the game right after this. As Brainerd shot that deflected away. Good job by Russell to poke that away. Brainerd outside the far circle. Russell puts it into the far corner, rims it all the way around the near boards. Atzman trying to hold it in at the near point, gets it over to Flynn. Flynn outside the near circle. Now Flynn back behind Olivia Andrianopoulos, back behind the goal, tipped back into the near corner. 8:38 left to go here in the third. Pioneer down by a goal, 3-2. As here comes the Valkyries down the near boards as Schlegel fires it deep in along the end boards. Drebeck gathers it up outside the far circle, trying to poke that ahead. Battle for it outside there as Stret had it at the far point, now held in. Shot that deflects into the near corner. It's held in by Russell. Outside the near circle, sent back deep by Van Summeren. Banked off the near boards. Here comes Flynn. Flynn has it. Top of the near circle of her own zone. Gets it out into the neutral zone. Ricochets it off the near boards. Fired the other direction, but Drebeck has it along the far boards of the neutral zone. Swept the other direction by Strett. Loose right in front of the penalty box. Here comes Olivia Adrianopoulos. Gets it into the Valkyrie zone. Pulled back over by Glumbeski. Back behind her own goal. Knocks it off the near boards. And ahead to LaBelle, who gets over her own blue line. Racing ahead with it. Schlegel has it. Knocked right back to the blue line. Poked back. Loose on the far circle. Atzman ricochets it off the near boards. Coming ahead with it is Flynn. Over her own blue line. And fired all the way back. Icing waved off as Bushelski. Chases it back in along the end boards of her own zone, going from the near side to the far side. Bushelski knocks it ahead, loose, right along the far board. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to grab it. That fired ahead to Kaiser. Comes into the near corner. Pulled back around by Washkevich. Back to the near point. Held in there by Glumbeski. Back behind as Meyer with it there. Gets it over to Campbell. Campbell moves it over. Campbell down the near boards. Held in at the near point by Glumbeski. Knocked away by Zoe Andrianopoulos. Fired ahead. Here comes Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga trying to get to it as Bushelski. Just a little bit more speed. Able to get it going the other direction for the Valkyries. Zoe Andrianopoulos has it in the slot in her own zone. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to get it out. That fired right back in deep by Washkevich. So that'll come around outside the far circle. LaBelle with it there. Tipped by Campbell. Now Myers trying to get it as that slips out into the neutral zone as the Valkyries will have to reset. Coming down the near boards. Fed ahead by Lenahan into the Pioneer zone. Zoe Andrianopoulos takes it back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. 6 minutes left to go here in the third. Pioneer down by a goal. Looking for the equalizer. That chipped and right in front of the penalty box. Zoe Andrianopoulos sends it back deep. As that into the near corner. Kaiser with it there. Fires it the other direction. Racing ahead with it. Bushelski feeds it into the Pioneer zone. Now McKay tips that back over to Campbell outside the far circle. Campbell trying to bring it ahead. That pass intercepted as Bushelski has it. Now that shot saved by Weiwei Portinga. Backhanded shot, another save. That comes outside the far circle. Back into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Now swept all the way into the near corner as Schlegel has it there. Knocked down by Campbell. Bank trying to get it to Prince outside the near circle. Centering attempt down in front, and they put it in. As good job by Weiwei Portinga to knock it down, but then the puck rebound popped over, and that goal was by Christensen, number 77. That makes it 4-2. Valkyries with the lead. 5:08 left to go here in the third. Face-off at center ice. Olivia Andrianopoulos in to take the face-off versus Schlegel. And puck in along the near boards. Fired ahead by Glumbeski. Right at center ice. Here comes Flynn. Flynn poked off the puck. Schlegel has it right in front of the scorer's bench. Flynn trying to knock that away. Now that fed ahead by Washkevich. Here comes Pioneer. Brainerd, top of the near circle, ridden off the puck. And puck loose. Popped up high, and that'll go out of play over the glass. So 75 Lawton on the assist, 77 on the goal, which is Christensen, 75 Lawton on the assist. That's 4-2. Valkyries in the lead. Brainerd trying to win it into the near corner. That swept all the way back to the near point. Chappelle trying to keep it in, but that's sent back into the Pioneer zone. Drebeck has it, coming ahead down the far boards, over to Flynn. Flynn gets it ahead, knocked down, now pulled ahead, no, loose. Back to the near point, held in by Drebeck. Brainerd trying to get to it, but that's sent into the neutral zone. Flynn comes right back into the Valkyrie zone. Flynn has that poke checked away. Now fired into the neutral zone where Drebeck gets it. Back in along the near boards. Chappell trying to bring it ahead as Van Summeren trying to knock it down. That right back in along the end boards. Michalski fires it, rimming it around the boards, out into the neutral zone. That will go all the way back on an edge. Back into the Pioneer zone. Drebeck takes it, stops underneath the far circle. 3:44 left to go here in the third. Bringing it ahead is Drebeck over on blue line. Drebeck over center ice. Drebeck gains the zone and offsides. .336 left to go here in the third. Pioneer down by 2 goals. Mid-Michigan Alliance ahead 4-2. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Drop pass all the way back as McKay fires it ahead. Prince trying to get it in the zone, knocked right back by the Valkyries in along the far boards. McKay chips it to the Valkyrie blue line. That pulled back over by Schlegel. Sent in along the near boards. Now rocketed ahead into the neutral zone. Pulled back over. Here comes Pioneer as Piper Campbell chasing it. On the near circle, that fired over. Outside the far circle, McKay trying to hold it in, trying to tip that back away was Washkevich. Now bringing it ahead, Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to fire it deep into the Valkyrie zone. McKay has it at her own blue line for Pioneer. Banks it off the far boards. As Evie Portinga trying to fire it deep. Chasing it back, Michalski into the far corner. As Michalski coming in along the near boards. Trying to knock it away, Zoe Andrianopoulos. That loose. Here comes Campbell. Campbell in on the near circle. Campbell with a shot. Save by Weir. Into the far corner. Centering attempt. As penalty coming up. Fire that knocked down, and that will be a delayed penalty. Cross check on the Valkyries. Schlegel goes off for a cross check. 2:20 left to go here in the third. Pioneer on the power play. Down by 2 goals, and we'll see if now Weiwei Portinga, looks like it's going to be a timeout call by Pioneer. We'll keep an eye on Weiwei Portinga as Pioneer needs 2 goals. We'll see if they'll pull the goalkeeper now to try and get 2 extra attackers and keep it down there. But, of course, at that point, because you are on the power play, they can clear the puck and they can aim for that empty net. Both squads talking it over. Let's play a little push shot and try and get you fired up. Pioneer fired up. Everybody fired up. Well, the Michigan men's hockey team bounces back after a really tough loss to Ohio State last night, 7-2. Michigan comes back and beats Ohio State 4-2 at Yost Ice Arena this afternoon. The Michigan women's team is out in Arizona, and we wish we could be there with them as they are taking on Arizona State. They beat Grand Canyon yesterday. I believe that was that 7-2 as well? I don't remember, but they won yesterday, hoping to take on Arizona State. Their goal to make it to nationals. Several former Pioneer players on that team. Right at the near point, skating ahead, shot that gets loose, trying to grab that. In the slot, Campbell trying to pull that away. Now that fired by the Valkyries all the way down. Pioneer does have an empty net to our right. As Brainerd takes it back behind the net, coming ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer, 1 minute 51 seconds left to go. In the Pioneer power play, Brainerd loses an edge, bringing it in. Here comes Flynn, but offsides the call. That'll bring the face-off outside the Valkyrie zone. Pioneer down by 2, 4-2. Face-off in the far face-off circle, just outside of mid-Michigan zone. Campbell in to take the face-off. On the other side is Bichelski. As bringing it ahead, there's a shot by Drebeck that gets poked into the far corner. Puck loose. Another shot as that goes off the back of the net, bringing it ahead is Lenahan down the far boards. That rimmed all the way around the boards outside the near circle. Trying to knock it out is Bichelski. Held in by Campbell at the near point. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to get it. Campbell has it. High slot. Moves it onto the near circle for Olivia Andrianopoulos. And causing issues there is Glembeski getting her stick in the way. Olivia Andrianopoulos over to Brainerd. Top of the far circle. That shot. Centering attempt goes all the way over onto the near circle. 1 minute, 3 seconds left to go in the Pioneer. In the period. 38 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Flynn trying to bring it down the far boards of her own zone, over her own blue line. Flynn gets it in along the near boards, over to Drebeck. Drebeck races and gains the zone. Drebeck top of the near circle. Pioneer needs 2 goals to tie with 42 seconds left to go. High slot for Zoe Andrianopoulos. Zoe Andrianopoulos with a rising wrister. And it just goes over the crossbar. Picked up back there by Lenahan into the far corner. 30 seconds left to go. 10 seconds left on the power play. Flynn with a shot from the top of the far circle that goes wide. Olivia Andrianopoulos outside the near circle. 22 seconds left to go. Valkyries back to full strength. 18 seconds left to go. The puck loose on the near circle. Now fired all the way down the ice on edge. That looks like it's going to be icing. It is icing. 8.5 seconds left to go. Pioneer a valiant effort, but probably not enough time. It would be a heck of it. You'd have to win 2 faceoffs and basically score right off of the faceoffs. 8.5 seconds left to go. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Pioneer down by 2. 4-2. Valkyries looking for a win here at Vets Memorial Ice Arena. As that looks like LaBelle in to take the face-off versus Campbell. The puck, top of the near circle. Drebeck with it with a shot that got deflected. 4 seconds left to go. 2 seconds left to go, and that will do it as Mid-Michigan Alliance wins the game 4-2 over your Pioneer women's varsity hockey team. Pioneer women again back in action as they will have the weekend off, and they will be back in action next weekend or next Friday on the 27th. That will be over at the ESF Hockey Arena over at Grosse Pointe South. For my camera person, Dominic Lukashevich, my stats person, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much. We will have the Pioneer men's varsity hockey game right after this versus Dexter. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.